I am C.P. Vashisht from the University of Delhi. I am going to speak to you about the library pioneers in the field of library science from Gujarat and Rajasthan. Maharaj Syajirao Gaikwad is the foremost. He was Maharaja of Baroda. He visited Europe and America, Japan, etc., etc. Then he invited William Ellison Borden to organize the public library movement here in India, especially in Gujarat state. He selected a team of people like Kodalkar, Motibai and Amin, and Newton Mohan Dutt. These people together did wonderful things. They brought very many new ideas. He even started a bullock card and library movement and a mobile library. Maharaja Syajirao Gaikwad was not born as a prince, but he was adopted. His major contributions are, he made a significant contribution towards social development of people here in India by bringing about great social reforms in Baroda state. He is regarded as father of library movement here in India. Some of the major areas where he made social and administrative reforms to uplift the people of Baroda state are prevention of child marriage, allowed widow marriage, removed caste tyranny, abolished unsociability, introduced reforms in agriculture, introduced reforms in revenue, introduced preparation of annual budget at regular audit, established Bank of Baroda in 1908, restored the ancient system of self-government in villages, panchayat, and formation of Dhara Sabha, the state legislative assembly. Baroda became first Indian state to build railways on an extensive scale, introduced free and public compulsory education. He established a network of public libraries for whole Baroda state. He initiated mobile library for the villages, which went from library to library, from house to house, and this is how the library movement spread all over Baroda. He introduced free compulsory education, and then he was not satisfied, so he introduced libraries, because he was of the opinion that only the colleges, schools, they will not do unless there are public libraries. William Ellison Borden, he was the American expert. He was called by Maharaja Gaikwad to develop the library movement in Baroda state. He stayed here in Baroda for 3 years between 1910 to 1912. He organized the State Central Library to serve the nerve center and the clearing house. He developed a dual coordinate system which looked after all the libraries of the whole of Baroda state. He also initiated training of library manpower, because he was the opinion that unless there is manpower which is fully trained in the affairs of library techniques and procedures, nothing will happen. So he started a library training course. And then he also wanted to introduce some library literature, because the books were not there on library science at that time. So he started a journal called Library Miscellany. That was the first professional journal published from Baroda. Then there is a Motibai Amin, who was a part of the team. He was a social reformer, educationist, curator of Baroda Library government. He was an icon of inspiration in spreading library movement in the then princely state of Baroda. He established a number of libraries. He established libraries in the schools. He established libraries in villages. He collected money also for opening the libraries, and those libraries which are old, he framed rules for them so that they can apply in proper channel and then they can get the grant. In 1990, he also established another library for students at Vaso. He started a mobile library on the lines of America in Vadodara state, established libraries in Kadi, 6 in Amreli, 9 in Navsari, and 14 in Barodara. Established 200 libraries beside 240 small villages under the supervision of Department of Education. He framed rules for application for registration and obtaining grants. Submitted a project for the establishment of libraries and obtained additional grant. He even arranged library training at the expenses of the government. He started a quarterly journal in Gujarati, that was Pustakalay. He compiled government rules and published them in the two parts. Organized Platinum Jubilee celebration of the first public library of Vadodara. Established children's and women's libraries. Because at the time Parda system was there, so he had a separate section for ladies. He started a children's library which is very decorated, very well maintained in Baroda state. Established libraries in every schools. Newton Mohan Dutt was a curator of library in Baroda. He joined the Department of Public Libraries in 1914 after the departure of William Elson Borden from the scene. He was made acting curator of libraries in 1914. He is known for bringing out the second edition of Baroda Library Handbook in 1921. Third edition brought out in 1924. He took active part with Moti Bhai Amin in organizing of Baroda Library Association in 1925. Played a key role in the conference's formation. He was instrumental in the establishment of Baroda Pustakalay Sahakari Mandal in 1925. He played an important role in forming the first Taluka Library Association at Barodara in 1926. For bringing out the Baroda Library movement 1911-1925 in Gujarat in 1927. Janardhan S. Kudalkar is the most important of all the three. He is a young man, but he died at the age of 21. In 1931, epidemics spread and he became a victim of that. He edited Library Miscellany, a quarterly journal initiated by William Ellison Borden. Wrote on Tilagwada copper plate inscriptions, Jain manuscript Bhandar at South Patan. Presented the Baroda state government at Oriental Conference held in 1919 at Pune and read a research paper there. In 1917, he read an excellent paper on juvenile literature at 9th Marathi Library Conference held at Indore in Maharashtra, in Madhya Pradesh state. He compiled Gayakwad's Oriental series. Then here, the last person is from Rajasthan. He was Master Motilal Ji. He was not a librarian. He had no library training, but he had love for libraries. He was a teacher by profession, and he was so poor that he used to earn his living by taking tuitions. In 1907, he was appointed as headmaster of the vernacular middle school in Jaipur. He retired on the pension of 20 at the age of 61. Out of this pension, 20 rupees, he used to spend at least 10 rupees on buying books. Slowly, he collected 1,000 books, and then he opened a Sanmati Pustakalaya in Jaipur, which became a very large library now. He was doing everything in that library, right from buying, dusting, accessioning, and he used to have a bag, fill the bag with the books, and used to go door to door to the villages and also in the city. In addition to his work of teaching, he went to the houses of his acquaintances, friends, and other respected persons with these books and gave these to them, keeping in mind their taste and convenience. Not only did he insist on their reading these books, but he also impressed upon them the need of self-education in life and value of following, value of right path. himself he went to them again to collect these books back, and he was also collecting these books, issuing these books, and dusting them, wrapping them, and making them available to all the people. He was not only the founder and patron of the Saramati Pustakalaya, he was its manager, its clerk, its peon, and also everything himself. Thus in Pustakalaya he did everything himself, right from dusting, buying, wrapping covers on them, their accessioning in the register, and finally their issuing too, and collecting books back from the readers after they were read.